and where are you from?
My name is James Ty Wilson, AKA artist known as Mr. Jae Tyson. I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Can you share a little about yourself and your background in music?
I come from a musical family. My family is out of Orlando, Florida, and they're the Denmark family. They were known as gospel musicians, singers, so it started real heavy with my family. So in my immediate family, me and my brother, we followed our mother as a singer. My brother, he did a lot of things with Betty Wright, Gloria Estefan, and a few celebrities out there. And it was already in me real heavy. I was already, I just had to do something musically. I was writing songs when I was like 12 years old. It was stupid, but they were songs. So I knew it was whatever that brand, whatever that was going on with my family. It got in me real heavy. So I kept pursuing supposedly trying to be a songwriter, but I started playing instruments. I started in the 6th grade at the time, elementary school. We started off with what they call a recorder, And then when I got on that thing, people thought I was an actual musician because I started playing the theme from SWAT, stuff like that. So I thought I was just a musician. So I had to take it further. I started playing saxophone from the time I was, 6th grade on up to high school. And got tired of that. I knew I was a musician. So I heard somebody banging on the piano. I said, hey, I can do that. So I've been playing piano now for a lot of years.
What led you to pursue a career in music?
It was something in me to do. I mean, I really, I really tried to go after electronics, after high school and stuff like that. But my main focus, my main interest was music. So it was just something, it was inevitable. I couldn't help it. I had to do it.
How did growing up as a military brat influence your musical journey?
Just that, hearing all sorts of different styles of music, being around, we was brought up in Steeple Bumstead, England. So, we was around all types of, we had the Beatles and all that type of stuff was around us. And then, of course, coming back here, we was introduced to Sly and the Family Stone. So just music, it was already in my system as a musician. So just hearing all that type of stuff, it just impacted me real heavy. So it had to come out. It just had to come out in me.
What role did your family musical background play in your development?
Just that. I mean, because it was family, they did it. I said, I got to do it. It's in me, so I got to do it. My parents, both of them sing. My mom's immediate family, they're the whole family just sing. They're singers, gospel singers, of course. But they were interested in other things, Al Green and stuff like that. Yeah, I couldn't help it. It was just inevitable.
What instruments did you play growing up?
Growing up, like I said, the first thing that I got a hold of was the saxophone, and it was just so in me. I had to do something. I just couldn't. It wasn't enough for me. So I started playing drums. I started playing the tuba. I started playing the bass guitar. I played a little lead guitar. But my main focus was piano, and I am a pianist. And if you guys want me to prove that to you, just bring me a piano. But that's my main instrument. And I don't know, just music is just a part of me. That's what I do.
How would you describe your unique musical style?
It's definitely unique because, of course, a lot of soul singers, and I guess you would call it that, we come out of the church as church vocalists and stuff like that, church musicians, and it's very soulful. So, yeah, I describe my music as soulful. That's all I could really do. And in the imprint of jazz, it was inevitable because, I love good music. I love, great theory, things like this.
Who are some of the creators you admire?
Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, and Charlie Wilson. Those were my main focuses when it came to what I felt was just great singing. And along came Mr. Fred Hammond. He's also, and so I say those four people, they were very inspirational in what I do. You know, it's not that I'm trying to mimic them or do anything because I've always been into singing, but they're what they had to bring to the table just it put it in my head a whole lot harder. So.
How did you come to blend gospel, R&B, and jazz into your music?
Again, that was another. It was just me. That was just my flavor. I had to do it like that. It was just something that I couldn't see myself. He's an on-time God, because that's not my style of singing. You know, that's not what I do. I'm more of a he's an on-time God. You know, I had to do it that way. You know, in order to get my point across. So that's where it came from. You know, me, just being me.
Can you share the story behind your latest single?
The single's called In the Room. I was in my room, in my studio at the time. And I had, being a church guy, I've often heard pastors say, the Lord is in the room right now. You know, I hear that a lot. And like I said, by me being in my room and feeling what I felt at the time, that's all I could come out with. That's all I could, and you know, and we went from there. And I must make mention that my wife is a co-writer of that song, so we do that quite a bit too. So, and there you have it.
How do you approach your creative process?
It usually starts with humming a melody. I hum a melody, then I sit and think on it, and go to the keyboard and pick it out, and then the lyrics come. The idea of or whatever I'm feeling at the moment, that goes along with it. I'll incorporate a melody to that, what I'm thinking. And it just goes from there.
What are some of your biggest challenges you faced pursuing your career?
I had been in search of a secular R&B career, and trying to, fall into what they wanted to hear, trying to sing and say things that they wanted to hear. It just didn't really, blend with me. Those type of things didn't work, and I got around some of the worst people. I'm just keeping honest. I got around some of the worst people that didn't blend with me. They didn't do anything for my soul, my spirit, my musical spirit. So those were my hardest challenges.
What has been the most memorable and transformative moments in your career so far?
To be honest with you, my wife. She has been, because she believed me. It was incredible because I've been, in several other situations. Like, oh, it's cute. Yeah, okay, but you need to do this and do that. But no, not this incredible. This incredible woman right here. She really came in and she put her foot down. She said, no, brother, this is what you do. So you do what you do, and you do it how you do it. And here I am.
How do you see your music evolving in the next few years?
I do see it evolving. Whatever the sounds of that era, I expect to be on board. I expect to incorporate whatever the sound is, but I'll never stop being a soul singer. I never stop doing that. I never stop being meaningful with my lyrics. I'll never stop being melodic with my melodies. But as far as if there's a new sound, or a new vibe that comes around, I'm sure I'll be on top of it. But it will evolve. It will go. But it will be me. It will be me. Believe that.
What message do you hope people take away from your work?
The main message, I want them to know that I'm dead serious about what I do, say, sing, and play. That's the first message I want them to have. And that God is involved in my message. I want them to know it. I want them to know it's dead serious, nothing to play with.
If you could speak to your younger self, what would you say to your younger self?
Grow up, brother. Grow up, get it together, my brother. Because you got something to do. You got something to do in this world. And it's not petty, it's not low. There's nothing shallow about what you have to do. You got a big job, I got a big duty. And I want you, my young self, I'm telling you, you need to get it together, brother.
What advice do you have for others wanting to get into the business?
Yes, I tell them to really pay attention to yourself. Try not to listen to what you think you see, or what you think you need to do. Listen to you. Whatever you feel is what you want to put out there musically. That's your craft. You take your craft and you develop your craft. Don't develop what you think is what's supposed to be developed. I've seen it done. I know someone now, I won't say names, I was getting ready to, but I won't do that. He has to jump on every bandwagon, and he's one of the greatest singers that I've ever been around. But he feel like he has to jump on the bandwagon of such and such that's out there. You know, you don't do that. You create a vibe. That in order to go to the next level, you create your vibe. So that would be my advice. You know, do you.
What are some struggles you faced, and how did you overcome them?
I've had serious health issues that some people may not have made it through. I was diagnosed with diabetes years ago, and it was out of control at one point. And once again, I'm gonna have to bring my wife up. She came in and she said, "Brother, you gotta do better than that," you know. In which we finally did. We changed our eating habits, and it's been so much better. Yeah, everything's my sugar levels are just. Not to mention, prior to the diabetic diagnosis, I had brain surgery, which I had a tumor on my brain, which kind of helped wipe out some things and slow me down a lot. The tumor was removed, and I was having seizures. I mean, I had seizures maybe 12 years, so more than that, 20 years. Yeah, to be honest with you, 20 years, because they'd be off and on. So I've gotten over that. That's over. That's God. God saw to that. So that helped inspire what I do musically, you know. It really put a you know, right now, Tyrone, Mr. Jae Tyson, recognize God in this. And so that's what I do. That's what I do, man.
What challenges have you faced during the process of your achievements in the music business?
A lot of challenges. First of all, was being in the music business. That was the biggest challenge. To be honest with you, I signed with a major label. I guess I can say the name is Universal. It was one of the big wigs. And I was signed with a three-man boy band type group, you know, R&B, and dealing with those attitudes, dealing with those individuals, you know, I won't call no names, but I had to deal with that as far as growing or going to the next level, because they weren't, you know, it was so deep. An executive from another label had heard about us and came down and was interested in doing something with an R&B group, and he pointed me out. He said, they're holding you back, you know. And me being the guy that I was at the time, I was like, me having my personality, I was like, they're my friends, you know, they're my boys, you know. That was part of my problem. That was another problem, and I had to overcome that. I had to get over that quick, because I found out that they weren't really on my side. So those were some challenges, you know, coming up and trying to be a group and trying to be a part of something, which I didn't need to be. You know, I was totally I was something that God put here I'm an entity that God put here to do by myself. You know, not try to be selfish or anything, but it's something God wanted me to do. So I finally, I stepped out. I stepped out on faith, as they say. I said, well, let's do this. And then God, I have to say it one more time, my brother. That wife of mine came along, and she was so inspirational in saying, you really need to do it. And I took that and said, yeah, I hear you. Not her, I hear you. I hear you, God. You're saying something to me. So that's where I've been, man. I've been letting God lead me, man. And that's where I'm at, and I'm going further.